Hey guys, this is Camford15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another One Piece manga chapter review for you guys as we are here for the next chapter, chapter 1060. This chapter was a big reason to talk about, mostly from what Eam did. Yeah. Um Absolute insanity. That's why I had to talk about this chapter. So this week I decided to do a manga chapter review. So let's get into this manga chapter title, and this chapter is titled Luffy's Dream. Now, we start the chapter off with pretty much Luffy hearing about what was going on with the reverie and what happened with Sabo apparently killing King Cobra. And obviously Luffy does not believe that because he would never he believes that he would never do that. And even Robin, who knows Sabo, also said, yeah, that makes no sense. He wouldn't do that, because she goes and say, like, the Revolutionary Army, their enemies, the world nobles, not the kings themselves. So yeah. Now, the funny thing is, Luffy wants to go back to Alabasta to find out what's going on and everything. Also, too, with Vivi missing as well. But Zoro's like, dude, we can't freaking go back to Alabasta. What is that going to do? Going back to Alabasta isn't going to solve anything because they're still gone. They haven't got back. And Zoro's like, listen, they went missing in Marijois. So that's the thing there. And Luffy's like, okay, then let's go to Marijois. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell are you doing there, Luffy? And everything. And even you have oh my goodness. So it's shocking. And Luffy and Zoro get absolutely, into a fight. And we have it to where Caribou, he's like, wait, we're going to Marijois? What? Hold on. I wasn't planning on going there. And everything. But like I said, Zoro and Luffy are arguing with each other. Zoro's like, idiot. You're saying you want to go to enemy turf. That's practically Navy headquarters. You're insane if you think we can go there and freaking get out of there alive. So, yeah. In the meantime, all the other Straw Hats are kind of like realizing this. Chopper's sad that King Cobra is dead because he was one of the few people that treated him nicely. Sanji's sad about Vivi gone missing. Nami, she's just like, I don't know what to decide. Am I sad about Vivi being missing, or am I just sad that she's probably taking the news very hard? And everything. Now, the other members make on a mention the fact that the reverie sounds like it was kind of a very crazy one. So yeah, now, they're obviously crying. I'm like, Vivi, we need to go save you and stuff like that. And pretty much Zoro's like, dude, Luffy, you remember what happened when it came to Ace? And it was the whole thing of pretty much Luffy saying, oh, Ace has his own adventure. If anything, he can take care of himself. But if there's something like if there's something that's much of an issue that he needs help with, then we'll go over there and assist him. Pretty much, that's what Zoro said. He's like, listen, dude, you let Ace live his life until he had to die, until you had to go try to save him the best of your ability. So, listen, maybe you should let Vivi take care of herself. And you know what? Maybe we'll run into the situation, and then guess what? Vivi's a strong-willed individual, so she can find a way to handle herself and everything. So, yeah. Now, my only thing with that old statement that I disagree with Zoro is this. Vivi, albeit, yes, can she protect herself? To an extent, she can, but ultimately, she truly can't. Not like how Ace could, because he had a devil fruit. He was a part of an Emperor's crew, and he was a pirate that is Goldie Roger's son, compared to Vivi, who's just a princess that, like I said, when she was first introduced, she could hold herself, but really she has no haki, she has no devil fruit abilities. I think it would be If it was me, I'd be very worried about Vivi. So yeah, insanity. So don't know what Zoro meant by that, but okay, that's Zoro's opinion, not mine. Anyways, Robin continues to go over the events that have happened in the world. She goes on to talk about the fact that the warlord system has been dissolved. The crossgo, and then the fact that Buggy is an emperor, which was absolutely hilarious because Luffy's like, wait, how the hell is he an emperor? That's an absolute joke. So yeah. Now, Robin goes on to say, well, hey, Luffy, there's actually some more names, to you in it. Would you like to know? And pretty much Luffy's like, not really. You can just decide what you want to tell me, but other than that, I could care less. So yeah. Anyways, he's like, listen, all I know is this: Sabo didn't kill King Cobra, so yeah. He lived in a freaking country, that controlled him as a noble, and he wants to be free just like everybody else. And then that's when Luffy ends up saying his dream again. And this time, this is the first time the Straw Hats all hear it. And those Straw Hats are like, Luffy, are you serious? That's really freaking, that's not gonna happen, man. Like, that's crazy. And then also, too, Luffy's like, wait, I didn't tell you guys about that? And, the Straw Hats are like, no, you didn't. This is our first time knowing this to a recollection. So, yeah, and he pretty much goes on to say, well, the only people I kind of told that was only Ace, Sabo, and Shanks. And Robin's like, so what did they say? And pretty much Luffy's like, oh, well, they just all laughed at me because they didn't believe that I could accomplish that. So, yeah. Now, some of the reactions, they're like, what the fudge, man? Others are just, like, laughing along with this whole situation and everything. So, yeah. And Luffy pretty much says, and that's all at the end of my my dream. So yeah, some of the other Straw Hats laugh, and everything. Some of the Chopper thinks it's a great dream. Nami's just like, yeah, that's you, Luffy, all right, it does sound like you. So yeah. But Frankie makes a mention, like, well, if you want to get that dream, well, that's not attainable till you can become king of the pirates. So we just gotta find the last road poneglyph, pretty much, so we can get to Labtail. Now Robin's like, well, yeah, that's true, but that last poneglyph hasn't been seen for ages, and nobody knows where it's at, so we have no idea where to look for. Anyways, we cut over to Marine HQ in the New World, and we pick up from the one chapter. It was a few chapters ago when Sabo was calling the Revolutionary Army to let him know what's been going on. And the Navy are tracking his calls because he doesn't have a white transponder smell on him to block that out. And he hide that up. We cut over to the Gorosei, and we find out that Sabo is transmitting. His transmission is coming from the kingdom of Lulusia. And the Gorosei are the 5 elders are like, Lulusia. And they're like, oh shit. Oh, that's interesting. Now, they go on to now the radio from the comms going to say that's one of the 8 countries that revolted the other day. The perfect place for Sabo to be hiding. Now, in that panel, we see Eam walking. Now, the other 5 elder members are like, that's interesting. And then the guy with the big mustache, he's like, no, that's just destiny. So yeah, now the other revolutionary the other revolutionary army members get in touch with Sabo, and Sabo's like, listen, I'm sorry for the trouble, but I need to let you know. He goes on to say this, Dragon, I did not kill King Cobra. I was not the person that assassinated him. Obviously, the other Dragon, as well as the other Revolutionary Army members, all are happy and relieved that that's not the case, and the fact that that's true, that's not true, and the fact that what he's saying is good. So they all had a feeling. Now Sabo continues his statement. He goes to say, but when I was in Marijwa, I saw something terrible. Now they're like, wait, what the hell did you see? Now, the people of Lulusia are Lulusia, they're making a mention of the fact that, wait, why is the sky dark? And what's with the clouds and everything? And the people are like, wait a second. It looks like there's something hovering in the sky. So yeah. Now, we cut over. Now we see the fact that the king of the Lulusia kingdom is talking to these people that pretty much rebelling against their kingdom and everything, saying that they're gonna be sentenced to death pretty much. They're gonna die. So yeah. Now, Sabo, he goes on to continue his statement by saying, yeah, when I was in Marijwa, I saw something terrible. I saw the empty throne in Pangaea Castle. He goes on to say, like, the throne that's supposed to be remain forever empty, that throne was supposed to remain forever empty, because there's no king of the world. But actually, the thing is, in the meantime, Sabo's doing this transmission, and all of a sudden we get to this map thing where, we have the Navy. They're like, hey, cut off the communication. The communications, cut off the transponders now. And I think that's from what the Gorus are saying, and saying to relay that to the Navy. And you see this map where the Lulusia kingdom is there, but then all of a sudden, somebody, which I'm guessing is the which I'm guessing is the five elders, they pretty much, I guess, mark an X on the Lulusia kingdom. And pretty much the thing is, on the Navy side, it goes on to say, communications, listen to me. You did not detect anything today. You did not intercept anything today. The kingdom of Lulusia, that country, never existed in the first place. Now, mind you, what's happening in this whole panel, all of a sudden, we see the shadowy imaging of Eam, and again, we get close up on his face. The crowd are the people crowd of the Lulusia kingdom. They look and they're like, wait, what the hell is that shadow? And all of a sudden, you just see a close-up eye of Eam, and all of a sudden, you get a insane panel where all of a sudden, these lasers are shooting down on the Lulusia kingdom, absolutely erasing it from existence, destroying the island in one fell swoop. Now, Sabo sees this. I'm guessing this. Sabo may have got out of there, but we don't know. It's the thing where maybe Sabo could be dead, but I would not be shocked if Sabo somehow got out of it alive. He does have a Logia fruit, so he can just make his body innate. So, he shouldn't really be affected. He should be able to dodge or get out of there fairly easy and fly somewhere else. So, yeah. Now, I'll get back to my thoughts on this whole situation. Now, the thing is, a sea quake was detected in the open sea to the southeast, and the Revolutionary Army like, Sabo? Hey, Sabo! And they're trying to contact him, but that's it. So anyways, a few days passed after this event on the Thousand Sunny. They're in pretty much a crazy storm, a snowstorm pretty much, and the currents are the water currents are just going crazy and everything. But we know that the island that they could be approaching is a winter island more than likely. Now, all of a sudden, Luffy's like, hey, Nami, what the hell is that? And all of a sudden, they see this big pillar of water. Now, Nami's like, it's a warm eddy. Now, they wonder, there's a question like, why the heck is an eddy rising above the water? Now, we found out it's a massive warm water that got heated somewhere, and now it's being pushed upwards. So maybe this has some sort of ties to what happened with the Lulusia Kingdom. Don't know. We don't know. Well, I don't even know where the Lulusia Kingdom is on the map, if it's in the New World or if it's in the Grand Line. But whatever. So, yeah. Anyways, Nami's like, Jinbei, we got to get out of here before we get sucked into that thing. So, yeah. But in the meantime, Luffy sees someone inside the water. And Sanji apparently says he hears a lady scream. In the meantime, you know, Chopper was wanting to go outside to see what's going on. The thing is, Zoro ends up cutting the water in half, the eddy in half, and then all of a sudden, because the wind's so strong, Chopper goes flying. Luffy tries to grab him. He starts flying off, but all of a sudden they get to where it's the eddy was at, and all of a sudden we see that a little kid popped out, and we see who that little kid is. It's Jewelry Bonnie, and that's where the chapter ends off. The world's that ends off. Worst generation, the glutton, Jewelry Bonnie, bounty 320 million. So we potentially could be getting some more information about what truly happened in Reverie thanks to Jewelry Bonnie, because if you guys remember, many chapters ago in the manga, as well as many episodes if you watch the anime, it's been a long time since we seen Jewelry Bonnie, and she was there, and she had some sort of tie to Kuma or something, because she was acting like she was an old lady. And we don't know why she was there at Marijois. So maybe she ends up meeting up with the Straw Hats. Maybe she ends up saying, Straw Hats, what the hell are you doing here? And maybe she ends up telling them what ultimately happened. I don't know. So that's a story point. That's the thing. Next thing I want to get a mention of is obviously the destruction of the Lulusia Kingdom. Now, a lot of people have speculated, after seeing this chapter, what caused this destruction in the kingdom. Now, one of two things. A, it's either somehow Eam has some sort of devil fruit ability or some sort of ability to where he can destroy a freaking country just like that, and he has the power to do so. Or another thing people have gone on to say, and pretty much I think everybody in the fandom, in the community of One Piece, can all collectively agree, is the fact that what if that was one of the ancient weapons? What is the only other ancient weapon that has yet to be known? That's Uranus, people. That's Uranus. The ancient weapon Uranus. Because we already know where the ancient weapon Poseidon is. That's in Fishman Island. And that's pretty much Shirahoshi. We know where now we know where Pluton is. Pluton is pretty much in Wano. So until the walls break down, Pluton ain't coming out nowhere. All for the mystery. The mystery was always, where is Uranus? People thought it was up in space to where Eneru is at, up on the moon, but no. Presumably, the world government has access to an ancient weapon, one of the ancient weapons that is Uranus, and that is in full control of Eam. More importantly, the world government told the Navy, hey, act as if the Lulusia Kingdom never existed. Like, since it's wiped off the map. Because it was a country that rebelled against what the world government stands for. What's another interesting place that's always been hinted at, that, guess what? The world government is just is doing their best to try to erase from history. God Valley brings a good thought to mind. maybe this same incident that happened in with the Lulusia Kingdom happened in God Valley. The world government said, "Oh, that was some very devastating information there. That shit cannot get out to the public. Hey, we need to use the ancient weapon Uranus so we can make sure God Valley is wiped off the map." And guess what? Next thing you know, nobody talks about God Valley. Now they're erasing the Lulusia Kingdom away from off the map. So as history goes on, Lulusia Kingdom? What the fuck are you talking about? That was never a country. That's just a myth. They don't believe that. So this is insane. This is absolutely insane. So with the fact that apparently Eam has the power of an ancient weapon at his arsenal, he can pretty much Hakai a freaking country to kingdom come within one shot. And we know ancient weapons have the capabilities of destroying countries in one blow. Same thing can go with Pluton. It's always stated by Pluton that guess what? One blow from that battleship can destroy an entire country. We see here multiple lasers of Uranus destroy the Lulusia Kingdom. So this is insane, and it's absolutely crazy, which makes the world government a lot more dangerous. Last week we were talking about these new pacifistas that the Navy are using. Shit! The freaking world government got an ancient weapon in their arsenal, and they can use it willy-nilly. And it's like, oh, this country wants to go against us? Unleash it. And that's what Eam says. What Eam says, the people in the world government have to execute it. And the fact that they have the Marines saying, hey, don't believe anything, that there was no Lulusia Kingdom. Like, it's just like, have it like as if it's nothing there. So, yes. And then another thing, Sabo apparently saw Eam sitting on the throne in Pangea Castle at Marijwa. Insanity. Now, he did not get that information out. His comms cut off right before he was about to say that. But this is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The fact that Eam, he has an ancient weapon at his disposal, and like I said, a country wants to go against the world government? Okay, fine. All right, fuck. We'll erase them off. We'll erase them off the planet. So, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And it's crazy because I did watch Tekken 101's manga chapter review, and he made a mention of the fact that maybe Beiji came across Uranus because he saw something overhead with like these something overhead while you sail in the sea. He saw something overhead, and it had like these, it had these openings to where, okay, maybe lasers could fall down. So maybe, and it's like, and if you watch that video, I'm starting to agree with Tekken from the standpoint, maybe Beiji came across the ancient weapon Uranus, and it was just floating in the sky, clear skies. And guess what? That's the thing. It would make sense that it flies in the clear skies because guess what? Uranus, it's a planet in our solar system. So it's got to be the size of a planet, like it's like a moon, and somehow they can control it. The world government can control it, be able to do it, and yeah. So what a chapter, man! What a chapter. What Joey Bronny has left on to say, I have no idea. Well, I don't know if she's gonna be cooperative with the Straw Hats. We'll just have to find out. But this was a crazy chapter. I enjoy this. Can't wait to see what happens next. We have no break. There is no break next week for One Piece. Can't wait to see what's gonna go happen next. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on everything that was revealed in this chapter. Your thoughts. Do you think that is the ancient weapon Uranus, or do you think it's something else? Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece content. I upload whether it's the anime or the manga. And again, like I said, I won't do these manga chapters every week, but if the chapter is very damn interesting that I need to talk about it, I will talk about it. But other than that, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, peace.